Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a Sunday reset. I have been putting off decluttering for so long. Quite honestly, I'm very overwhelmed by the idea of having to declutter my house because my entire house really needs to be decluttered. So today I think I'm just gonna tackle small sections of the kitchen and do a bit of cleaning, do a bit of a refresh, and sort of get my mind together on, I don't know, just step one, right? Sometimes when you have this huge project that you feel like is insurmountable, just doing a little bit, just getting started, sometimes snowballs into the rest of it. So I am hopeful that I will be doing more than one cabinet today. I do want to swap out where my baking supplies are because they're taking up valuable real estate in the kitchen in an area that I use all the time. And of course, I'm not baking all the time. So I want to swap those baking items out and put them in a less high traffic area, and maybe put some things in the cabinet that I remove them from in a way that it just makes more sense for the function of the kitchen. I feel like my house is not functional. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, I love the way it looks, but then when I open cabinets or when I go to do a process or a project, I'm like, it's just not functional. So that's what we're doing today. I hope you're here for it. I don't typically do Sunday resets, so I would love your opinions on whether or not you like this kind of a thing. I think I'm going to start incorporating Sunday resets because quite honestly, it is motivation for me to get work done in the house. I really enjoy filming for you guys. I really like doing YouTube videos. I don't like cleaning and decluttering so much. So it will kind of force me to get it done. It feels productive, it feels really good. And if it helps you along the way to get a little bit of motivation to do your own cleaning or decluttering projects, then it's a double win. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get started. So we're going to start just by unloading the dishwasher and getting some of these items put away. I do have some dishes in the sink as well that need to be loaded into the dishwasher. So having this done before I start decluttering, I think will be helpful when I get to the part of organizing and trying to make things fresh and clean again. So just starting by getting my sink emptied out and putting away some of the clean dishes. And while I'm doing this, I just want to take a minute to introduce myself. A lot of you guys do know me as a decorator, and I don't typically do a lot of cleaning on my channel. However, I have found that I need a time to just dedicate toward organizing, cleaning, and especially decluttering. I know we had mentioned that in a previous video, and honestly, I will tell you that I'm not a person that is organized. I am definitely a person that is a non-planner, although I am working on that this year. And so getting my kitchen organized and sort of decluttered and more functional, I think is a good way to start the year. I do plan to do weekly edits to my home and weekly resets on Sunday for just the purpose of getting my home in order. I feel like I love the way it looks, but I hate the way it functions. And so if that is something that you are in need of inspiration for, I'm hopeful that this video and the Sunday Reset series will help you to do that. This week I'm only really tackling a few cabinets because I truthfully wasn't sure where it was going to lead. Sometimes when I start a project, I get really involved, and I wasn't sure if I was going to end up taking everything out of every cabinet or if I was just going to be, tackling the space that I had mentioned, just a few cabinets. So I'm watching one of my friends on YouTube do her kitchen declutter, and she got me inspired to do this. Her name is Robin Lane Lowe. If you haven't checked her out before, I love watching her weekly resets, and I figured, I think I need to do that. So you can see this cabinet is just really underused. I have some functional items here, some random coffees, a coffee syrup, and then take a look at this one. This is my baking cabinet, but this is a high traffic area in my kitchen, and it is packed to the brim. So today I'm going to be kind of swapping these two cabinets, and I'll be removing all of my functional items from the underused storage cabinet and placing all of the baking items in here, just because I think it's a better way to use the space. It's kind of out of the way. I don't do a lot of baking in the spring and summer months, and so this is a good way to keep my baking items tucked away, out of the way, and bring my functional items more to a cabinet that I use often. So now it's time to work on this overcrowded cabinet. I've kind of been putting this off and doing all of the other chores in the kitchen just because I just really felt overwhelmed by this cabinet. But once I got started taking everything down and sort of organizing them, I placed all of the items that are going to go back into this cabinet here on the island. I decided to put all of the baking items, and so sorting it out really did help me to kind of organize it in my mind before I started doing it. Sometimes when I'm decluttering and organizing, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I feel like I just kind of wing it, and then I get to the end and I still have a bunch of stuff that isn't going to fit or doesn't really work for that spot, and so I tend to give up on the organizing part and just kind of throw it all back in. So this cabinet is the result of many attempts. As you can see, everything is just kind of thrown in there, and I just can't wait to get it done. It really actually just is very satisfying to get one layer done at a time. So now it's time to start deciding what's going to stay and what's going to go. You guys, I have so many sprinkles. Every Christmas, I buy so many sprinkles with the intention of baking cookies, and it never happens. I've got one here I'm grabbing now. This is like peppermint pieces that are completely stuck in the glass container, and I couldn't get them out, so I'm just like, throw the glass container away, I don't care. I, at this point, was just so done and so sort of overwhelmed by everything that I didn't even think about whether or not I wanted to keep the container. It just needed to go away. So still organizing, bringing all those baking items to the island. I'm starting to feel at this point a little bit more organized in my mind. I feel like things are moving along the way I kind of had hoped they would move. So picking up some steam here and feeling like I'm making some progress. So for those of you guys that are new here today, my name is Jen, and my husband and I live here in this forever home that we are in now, and we are empty nesters. My kids are 26 and 21, and they are living on their own, doing their own thing, and it is kind of strange, to be honest with you, to be an empty nester. One of the things that I was sort of relating to hearing my friend Robin say on her channel was that, you know, now that she's an empty nester, she is noticing that she has a lot of the things in her cabinets that are never used anymore because, you know, she's not cooking for a large group. She's not using the kitchen in the same way that she had before. And I feel like that's exactly right. A lot of you guys that watch are not empty nesters, and you have your kids in your home with you, and, you know, you kind of need all of that extra stuff. But I'm not in that season of life anymore. My husband Ed and I, we don't cook a lot. Because of the weight loss journey that I'm on, I made some changes to what I buy and what I use. And so I am definitely not in need of all of the stuff as far as cooking is concerned. So I did promise you guys that I will be doing an update on my weight loss journey, and I still plan to do that. I'm feeling really good, and I am still losing weight. I am excited to share with you that journey and what I'm doing. That will probably come during the month of February at some point. I really just want to have at least a month, maybe 6 weeks, to see the results and see what I feel like and how I am losing and whether or not what I'm doing is working, because it is a little bit of an undertaking to make these changes that I've made. I decided that I did not want to go on any sort of medication, and I know a lot of people do that, and that's totally fine. Everybody has to do what works for them, but I've done a lot of research, and I feel like I've kind of learned what I need to do. I just need to implement it. And so as I go through the rest of January and part of February, I'm going to be taking notes and making sure that I give you guys good information on my journey. So leave me a comment below if you are on a similar journey, if you are working on increasing your health and fitness this year, losing weight. What is your New Year's goals as far as health and weight are concerned? If you are with me on this weight loss journey, I would love for you to leave me a comment below and let me know what you're doing and how you're going about making those changes. So as I'm beginning to fill up this cabinet, I am realizing how much I hate the way standard cabinets in most kitchens are set up. That little shelf in the back there is almost non-functional because I cannot get to it very easily. So I'm considering getting those drawers that can be installed in cabinets like this, and then they pull out. That way you can set everything on the drawer, but when you need to reach it, you pull that drawer out and you can reach the back items very easily. So leave me a comment below and let me know if that's something you have in your kitchen and whether or not it has made a difference for you for functionality, because I just hate having that little recessed shelf in the back there because you have to sit on the floor to reach to it. It's just so frustrating. So I would love to hear how you guys are organizing your kitchen or how you have set up functional ways to be able to reach and see your stored items. So once I made the progress that I had accomplished with the 2 cabinets, I felt really motivated to keep going, which sometimes that happens, right? You start a project, you've been putting it off for a while, and then you finally decide to tackle it, and it feels good to see the progress and the work completed. So I thought I would just hit up this cabinet here where all of my cooking items are and just do a really small declutter and then just place everything back in a way that makes more sense. And once again, I'm realizing I need those pull-out shelves. So I have a feeling that's something I'm going to be implementing pretty soon because I really am loving having a little bit more of a functional kitchen. I've been working with my kitchen with this configuration now for 4 or 5 days, and it makes a huge difference. And I only did 3 cabinets, so I can only imagine how much better I'll feel once the entire kitchen is complete. And now the final reveal. There is nothing quite like seeing the results, especially when it comes to decluttering and organizing. It feels so good to have these cabinets kind of back in order and so much more functional. Now that I am feeling a little bit more organized, I have a few more tasks of cleaning to do, and then I am going to bring in just a tiny bit of decor. I kind of want to start adding in some color, and so I'm not doing a full kitchen decorate. I'm just going to be adding in a little bit of color for Valentine's Day next to my coffee bar. But first we're going to clean the stovetop and get everything back to a nice, fresh, clean slate before we bring in new decor. Whenever I watch cleaning videos, I always like to know what people are using on their stovetop. I feel like this is something that I do that I don't see very many others using, but this is just basically baking soda and Dawn dish soap and a little bit of water to wet the sponge. It is a game changer for really taking away the cooked on grease or, any sort of debris that is hard to remove from the glass top. It's so satisfying to watch the baking soda come off and see that nice shiny surface underneath. And now I'm coming in with just some simple Mr. Clean all-purpose spray. It's a great cleaner for my granite countertops. I don't know what you would want to use if you have quartz or any sort of other countertop, but for me and the granite that I have, this seems to do the trick. So a lot of you had seen previously that I did a video where I brought in a really neutral color scheme for the new year in my kitchen. If you haven't seen that video, I will make sure and link it below. But as we move towards Valentine's Day and especially towards spring, I do want to add a little bit of color. So this section here where my coffee pot is where I'm just going to bring in just a pop of color with a nice warm wood tray and some pink Cosmos. I'm not going to overdo it for Valentine's. I might not even decorate for Valentine's, but if I do, it'll be simple like what you see me doing here in this section. So for this section, I went ahead and removed that little blue piece of art that I had purchased at Target, and I'm just replacing it with this more vertical landscape picture. The colors are a little bit more neutral, and I feel like it goes better with preparing for spring and bringing in some of that color. And then I also wanted to share with you this really adorable espresso cup that I found on Amazon recently. I thought it was really cute and kind of delicate. I think it will go great for spring. So this section is complete. I do need to add some paper towels to my paper towel holder, but overall, I'm really happy with the look. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.